Let's talk about Hera. So, Hera is a fun weapon. It's very similar to Beowulf, which we just went over. So Beowulf and Hera have a similar gimmick, but very different executions, okay? Beowulf loads the things into their cast and into their shield, and then the casts explode out at the end of the shield charge, right? Hera loads the casts into the bow, and then they explode either at the expiry, either where the arrow expires, or on first contact with an enemy. Hera generally takes one cast. There's only, unlike on Beowulf where there's a couple of different cast options, there's one cast for Hera. You think there might be more than one cast. There isn't. There is not more than one cast on Hera. There's only one cast on Hera, and I'll quickly explain why. Let's go through the Olympian gods. Zeus cast. What Zeus cast does is it shoots like a lightning bolt out when it hits the enemies, and it's really hard to control and doesn't do very much damage. Athena cast and Poseidon cast both do a lot of damage on impact, but if you ever miss, will fly so far away that you'll never get them back. Also, they don't do all that much damage compared to Aphrodite cast. Artemis cast is kind of okay. It basically automatically hits and can crit for some pretty huge damage, but has no AoE, and not having any area of effect is awful. You need your cast to have AoE. It's your main source of area of effect damage. Ares cast, Blade Rifts are fine, but they're damage over time, and burst damage is better. Trippy shot. So, why we don't use Stygian Soul on weapons like this is because once we kill an enemy with this, the casts just fall out immediately and we're able to use them again. And a lot of times with our casts, we're going to be able to kill enemies instantly, then just pick up our casts and move again, right? Trippy shot stays on the ground. Your casts stay on the ground until they expire. So let me actually just show you real quick. Well, it doesn't really show up here, but you can see I can't pick up my casts. There should be like an effect going on there, and then once it expires, I get to pick up the casts. But that means I basically have to have the casts... I have to wait for the casts to expire, which is not great. The only solution to this is to go Stygian Soul, but it's not worth it. Other options. Demeter cast. Demeter cast just drops the laser beams right where the cast lands. It's stinky. So, what does Aphrodite cast do, right? Let me show you what Aphrodite cast does. A lot of damage in a solid AoE right where you land the casts. Very fast. Very fast. And because of Hera's special bonus, which is that Bloodstones drop in 5 seconds, you can do this, just attack for a little bit, and then your casts will pop right out, and you can use them again. Aphrodite cast is basically made for Hera Bow. It's so perfect. It works spectacularly, which you'll see in the run that I'm going to do. Now, Aphrodite cast only really needs a couple of support boons. An attack, plus like a good attack hammer is nice. So, is the long-ranged Aphro cast worth it? It's, Blown Kiss is kind of buggy on Hera. Don't pick it. Blown Kiss sucks. Can you load casts on the bow as you're charging up? Oh yeah, so like this. Pow. There are a couple of boons that you can use on this, right? Hera has a lot of options as far as things that it can go for. Generally, you want to add a little bit of damage to your Aphro cast, usually some AoE damage. So generally the best one, the best single boon, if you want a 2-boon build, that's right, a 2-boon build, right? You can grab from Demeter Snowburst. You can load your casts and they will send out a burst of damage right as you load them instead of when you fire them, right? So what you can do is you can still kill some enemies without even having to fire your bow. And it adds a lot of nice little like AoE damage as you're moving through rooms. So it doesn't look super impressive right now, but it looks much more impressive when you're playing with it in game. Other boons of note. Zeus Call is quite good because it unlocks Smoldering Air. And with Zeus Call and Smoldering Air, you basically are able to... Oh, calls don't charge in the house. That's funny. So with Zeus Call and Smoldering Air, you're able to repeatedly just use your call as just like a repeatable source of damage. It's very solid. And then, of course, the classic, even though it's not bugged here, but it is still the classic. If you pick up, like, Tidal Dash or Tempest Flourish plus Artemis Attack, which, by the way, Artemis Attack is the best attack, you can pick up Mirage Shot. And even though it's not as good as it is on Beowulf, Mirage Shot is still very strong. Still very strong. This is the main build, right? But there's a lot of random little options that you can pick up to add some nice damage, which maybe we'll see in the run. But if you're gonna look at anything and be like, what is the most minimalistic, powerful build that you can get on the most minimalistic, powerful build you can get on Hera. The most minimalistic, powerful build is just Crush Shot plus Snowburst. And then if you want just, like, the best things possible, this would be the most solid base setup. Is going for the +2 cast from Art worth it? Never. It's nice to get, but it's so unreliable to get it because it requires you to pick up 2 extra Artemis boons and then the +2 casts. It's just so terrible. It's so terribly hard to get. Like, I can never say, yeah, like, you never go for it, but it's godly if you get it. So, Mirror. Fiery Presence. Fire Presence versus Shadow Presence. I don't know which one people prefer. I prefer Fiery Presence. It helps you kill things in Tartarus really effectively. It's not a huge deal. I just like Fiery Presence. Most of this is standard speedrunning mirror stuff, deep pockets, boiling blood, greater reflex. I already explained Infernal Soul earlier. Death Defiance, Chthonic Vitality, all very normal. High Confidence is a nice damage boost, and I am like you can swap this to Thick Skin if you're not super confident. I'm very confident. I'm playing with High Confidence. Family favorite. Privilege status is sometimes okay, but you generally need, like, Snowburst to make privilege status actually reliable, and even then, it's not enough of a damage boost for it to be worth it, in my opinion. And it gets online way too late. So I'm just not a fan of privilege status basically on any weapon. And even though this one does have privilege status, is closer to being good at privilege status than others, I cannot rightfully recommend it because, like, you can't get privilege status at range. It becomes like, and it's not even that much more damage than Family Favorite. Family Favorite ends up being about 25% and privilege status ends up being 40%. It's just not a huge difference. Dark Foresight is an always take, and then God's Legacy, there's a lot of duo boons that are powerful on Hera. There is some argument for God's Pride because Chaos is really good and you would like to have a good Snowburst, but, like, I think this one is, again, like, kind of a toss-up for people. Please show button remaps. I have one button remap at the moment, which is that my cast is bound to L1. That's it. When I play, my codex is on R3. When I play Rail, I bind Reload to L1 and cast to Circle. Let's go for a Hera run, just to explain how things work. Oh, let me quickly go over the general plan with Hera. The general plan with Hera, generally what we're going to be doing every single time that we attack an enemy, is we are not always going to be doing a full power shot, right? We do this if we want to get attack damage out. Normally what we do is we actually do minimum charges, and then we cancel the backswing of our attack with a dash, right? So we do something like this. Because we don't need to do a full attack. Most of our damage is coming from our cast. The full attack isn't going to matter as much. When we want to kill things with just our attack, we do our actual charges. But most of the time, you're going to see me just run up to things and hit them very quickly, right? Just a quick release, yeah? Something like that. So, here we go. Let's do this.
All right, one more time.
Oh, starting on hammer. Cool. Ooh, so here's a good. Here's actually a good point. Again, this is a divergence point of preference. So triple shot and flurry shot are generally considered to be the two of the best hammers on Hera. It's like triple shot, twin shot, flurry shot, right? Triple shot allows you to get up real close to enemies and backstab them and like shotgun them for a shitload of damage. Flurry shot allows you to just rapidly go through and churn out attacks, right? Both of these are very strong. Flurry shot, I believe, is harder to play than triple shot by quite a lot. Especially with auto-aim being a janky piece of shit sometimes. Triple shot, though, does require you to be unsafe because you have to get right up in somebody's ass to be able to deal the full damage out of triple shot, right? So this is a preference thing. Some people prefer flurry shot, some people prefer triple shot. Again, Hera's got a lot of stuff that's like, I kind of prefer this, prefer that. I personally prefer triple shot, but it's not like this isn't a done deal. I'm going to take triple shot because I'm comfortable with it, not because it's necessarily the best option. Either of these would be a correct pick. Right. Just get both? I hope to eventually. So I'm going to take this Chaos because the Chaos has cast potential. Does it triple the power shot damage? Oh, yes, it does. Yes, yes. I think I'm leaning back toward Flurry now. Yeah, I think it's pretty similar. So I'm going to take this Excruciating Grasp because a +1 cast. So you can see I get up real close to enemies. And hit him with some attacks. So that's pretty much it. I'm just getting real close and then shotgunning them. So with the small enemies, I'm just trying to get up real close to them. Hit him with attacks. Nuts. Great. There we go. So here we get Crush Shot. Perfect. That's what we need. So now we've got to start. So you can see what I did there is I dashed at them, loaded all my casts, fired a very quick shot. I did not charge that shot very much at all. The shot itself was relatively unimportant. Have you considered trying a 32 heat run? I've beaten 32 heat all weapons. I've done many 32 heat runs. I've done 32. I've done 50 heat. So, a lot of times what you're going to be doing is using the attack as just as a vessel for the casts and not as an attack itself. And then you're usually only going to be using the attack when the enemy is too large for you to kill with just random attacks or too small to be worth using a cast on, right? Or if I leave my cast behind like I did there, right? So Crush Shot, first palm and Crush Shot is massive. It goes up to 144 damage. It's very solid. So let's see. Next. Nuts. Yeah. That room kind of sucked, because all I was doing was just hitting numbskulls. No real way to do that much faster. So, there. I dodged the louts. The louts charged past me. They were both right next to each other, and because Crush Shot has pretty good AoE, all I had to do was just do a minimum charge, like 2 casts, and it killed both of them simultaneously, right? So like this. Ah, dang it, I messed that up. Ah. There we go. So just load a couple casts, pump them into the enemies. This is great. Tidal Dash, or whoops. I'm thinking too much about talking. I'm not thinking about actually playing the run. Okay. Poseidon is good. Why? Opens up Mirage Shot. Tempest Flourish is good. You don't use your special on Hera basically ever. So Tempest Flourish is basically a useless boon, except that it closes up your core boon slots, which is good because it makes it easier for you to find other boons that you want, and it can open Mirage Shot for later. So we're going to take Tempest Flourish and love it. Don't take Tempest Strike. Some people think it's kind of okay, but really it sucks. It's like, it knocks enemies away from your casts. It's not good. Don't take it.
Felt that.
Okay. Right there, I just dashed around an enemy to try and get a line where I could hit both of them simultaneously. In here, we always take shops. None of that matters. Do we fight Charon for the memes? This money here would be decent, but like...
Sorry. Sorry.
This would be a good showcase of what you do against bosses here. Oh, nuts. Hey, buddy. Oh, shit. Actually hit me with that. Doo-doo-doo. I think I may have made a mistake. I might actually die here. I think I've actually made a terrible mistake. Yep, I made a terrible mistake. That's okay. That's okay, though. Oh, nuts. That stun was very annoying. Not got him.
You had me worried, mate.
That's fine. Whatever. Okay, so now we're back to our regularly scheduled content. Okay, so we're gonna go in here, and then Sisyphus, we're just gonna grab money off of it. Doesn't really matter. And then this should be this should be the end of the biome. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, nice, Demeter. No other cast works as well as Aphro. So we're gonna grab this. Nice, we see Snowburst. Cool. I'm getting scammed by God's Pride, but you know, it's okay. Snowburst, fantastic. I'm gonna grab healing here because healing and health, just because I fought Charon. I might as well make the best of my spoils. But yeah,
Hello, Fury Sisters.
here we go. So now that we have Snowburst, you'll see that I'm gonna be doing a lot of extra damage by just running up to things and hitting them with the Snowburst. Also, please stop doing exactly what you're doing. So that's a cute trick that I just did there. If you get enemy into a corner, you can hit them with casts, and sometimes the cast will hit the corner instead of the enemy and bounce up immediately, so that you can just regrab them and they don't stick into enemies. But that's like a small little trick. It's not a real thing. Okay. Anyway, so now that we've had some fun with fighting Charon, what do we have here? So if we look at our build, we have Tempest Flourish, we have Crush Shot, we have Snowburst, right? Since we already have Snowburst and Crush Shot and, you know, a half of Mirage Shot, there's no real point of taking Demeter here. So, and we have Loyalty Card. We're going to be, how important is Snowburst? It's absolutely one of the best boons you can have on the weapon. It's so good. You can do runs without it, but it is incredibly helpful. Since we already have Snowburst, that's very solid, we're going to pick up Adamant Arrowhead because we want to grab an Artemis attack and maybe Mirage Shot. That's the idea here, is we're going to try and pick up an Artemis attack, which is just very good with our triple shot, and then potentially Mirage Shot afterward. We have God's Pride, so I don't know how likely that is, but, you know, whatever. It's fine. But we have Snowburst, so that's going to be solid regardless. We already have a decent build. And we have 5 rerolls, which means we have some spice. It's pretty similar to Bayo. It wants Snowburst way more than Bayo does. Bayo has better AoE potential, better wide-ranging AoE. Snowburst helps make up for that, right? So here, I don't want any of these. Let's roll this.
Hey, got anything else?
I don't want any of these. Okay, this is not the best, but it's passable. So, I would rate it, it's best on Hera, but I'd rate it still highly on every weapon, on every cast weapon. So, I'm going to grab Quick Reload. So, Quick Reload is very solid. It means that you can basically just churn casts into bosses. I would have preferred Hyper Sprint here, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, here's an early Artemis. That's great. It's still, like, Snowburst is good on every cast weapon, but it's definitely at its best on Hera. Ah, damn it. There we go. All right, enemies got into a group there, and we just saw the group, killed them with casts. Got them next to each other and just wiped them out. All right, give me the Deadly Strike. There we go. All right, shop. All right, another Demeter. Honestly, another Demeter does not even matter. Hyper Delivery the best option even for Hera? Yes. Exomoons would be so good on Hera. It's okay. A lot of times you don't need it because enemies die fast enough that it doesn't matter. But. Oh, shit. I forgot to load. I forgot to load my casts. I'm a dummy. All right, so let's see. Here, Blown Kiss is buggy on Hera. Don't pick it. Dying Lament is reasonable. Passion Dash also lets me fill up my slots, but I'm just going to take Dying Lament here. Palm, thank God. The big problem with our build at the moment is that we only have 1 Palm in our cast, which sucks. We need to get, like, I would say 2 to 3 more Palms here before we can really have good damage. So you notice I'm getting up close to enemies, I'm loading a bunch of casts, and then I'm just pumping them into the nearest grouping of enemies. Alright. Interesting. I'm going to take Artemis here, because there's a chance at Mirage Shot. See you soon, Queen Chi. I mean, I know you'll still be here, but, like, Queen Maud is disappearing a little bit. Great. Mirage Shot. Nice, we got it. That's going to be a nice damage boost. That helps kind of make up for how low our palm count is. I would love to be able to grab something out of the shop, but the free palm, like, I guarantee get a palm out of this, and palms is something that we really need. So. Delicious. Great. We have level 4 cast. We have Mirage Shot. Oh yeah, no, Hera's really good. Like, notice, I only have, like, level 4 common cast. Right? And I'm doing this to Lerny. Ah, nuts. Hey, buddy. Great. So that was that's a fast learning fight, right? It's a pretty good learning fight. Hera is, as they say, poggers. Kroven. I mean, you're right, but Kroven. Okay, so just like on Beowulf, we are going to be looking for stuff out of wells. So I'm actually going to take Bone Hourglass here, and this might be wrong, but, you know, whatever. I'm actually going to roll this once. I don't have any... There's no reason to keep my rolls around anymore, so I'm just going to roll this once. Ah, damn it. Punished. No, unfortunately, no frickin' cast damage stuff, but it's okay. We'll check other wells. Hera Bow? Correct. This is, I'm doing a little bit of a lesson in how to play Hera Bow. Alright, so, second hammer is very powerful because we have triple shot. Triple shot opens up a lot of really awesome options for a second hammer, right? Explosive shot and perfect shot are both solid. I'm going to take explosive shot. Explosive shot, triple explosive is actually kind of... Twin and triple explosive are kind of like my signature hammers. So, hammer combos on bow, so I'm going to take this. Triple explosive and twin explosive are my babies. No. I got a text message from somebody. Let me check this real quick, because I think I looked at it and saw that the person... is my housemate. Great. Yeah, there we go. Got it. Okay, so notice that all I'm doing here is I'm doing minimum shots, right? Is that, did I know that explosive stack triple double? Did you? I can't answer that. But the thing that I'm doing is I'm doing minimum distance shots that are getting huge damage because all I'm doing is just the explosive. You just don't want to charge up explosive. Explosive does a lot of damage if you just don't charge it. You just let go very short distance shots that have the explosion at the end plus the cast damage. It's going to do a lot of damage like this, right? You saw that all I did is I just let loose, right? What are your thoughts on Rama Bow? It's good, but not as good as Hera. So exactly what you've been doing so far? Yes. But even more so. Like, I sometimes have power shot against bosses. I don't power shot anymore, right? If there's a single target that I'm not doing damage against, that I'm trying to do attack damage against, I just hit him with minimum distance shots. No more power shots for the rest of the run. Is Hera the best bow overall? Yes. Very much so, yes. You have to know how to play it, but yes. This Greater Haste, none of those really mattered, so I'm just going to take Greater Haste here. Shot. I'm going to take this Artemis. So between these, Hunter Dash is actually quite good. Because the thing about Hunter Dash is that Hunter Dash adds more damage to all the dash strikes that we've been doing the whole time anyway. But the thing is, to find that Chiron's much easier to play, it is easier to play. Chiron is much easier to play, but Hera is better, right? Like, Hera has a higher skill ceiling, but is harder, yeah? So... Support Fire does help me unlock fully loaded. It's not correct. 100 dash is the correct option here, but like, sometimes you gotta live. But I'm doing a tutorial. I should pick the correct option. Let's pick the correct option. 100 dash. So now we have our dash slot filled up. That's very cool. All right, let's take this. Imagine getting fully loaded. That'd be so sick, but it won't happen. All right, so we're gonna Meg Asterius right at the beginning here. Load all of our casts. Right? If you don't power shot, is the short shot still more powerful than before the hammer? Much. Palmed up. Like, way more powerful. Didn't buy palm? I didn't. I was thinking too much about high roll. I didn't look at it. I'm going to grab Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark is really good. Shieldmen. Trying to get behind the shieldmen and kill them. Got it. Use default button mapping? I do not. I'll go over this one more time. Here's my button mapping. Reload gets, when I'm on rail, I rebind all this. I rebind, reload, and cast when I'm on rail. And I unbind codex when I'm doing actual speedruns. Oh, nice. Patty. Hey, I'm going to take Kiss of Sticks Premium because, guess what? I'm just trying to, I did Charon early on in this for the memes, and I want to, you know, get those DDs back that I lost to Charon. Don't take trials, they suck. Is Tidal Dash good for Hera? Yes, it is. It requires you to play in a very particular way, but it is very good for Hera. You basically want to be doing, like, attack into immediate Tidal Dashes. Like, immediately trying to get Tidal Dash to do stuff. So what you were seeing me do there, by the way, is I baited the chariot down toward the swordsman and then killed the chariot and the swordsman simultaneously. Also, the dogs are barking. Give me one moment. I need to figure out what's going on with the dogs, because, like, their owner is out of the house at the moment. And they are currently barking, which makes me feel like they might be having separation anxiety, but hopefully not. Because I can't do too much about that. Guys. Hey, stop. 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 No, stop. The buddies have been sated. Buddies are okay. They are okay now. The thing about that is, Chosen Fives, my perspective is different because I play RTA. Trials are way slower in RTA due to having to pick up 2 boons and having extra text. Right? Okay. In IGT, they're much better. Still, I don't like them. But also something about Trials is you can't find duo boons in Trials. What if Dan's still open? then fuck me, right? I might sometimes take them to get rid of Than, but it's usually slower than any chamber that, like, if I'm taking in 34, like, kind of sucks. So, yeah, so generally just try and avoid trials. You can take them in IGT, but any reason you chose Afrocast for Hera? Check out at the very beginning of this run where I went over all the casts for Hera and why Afrocast is absolutely amazing and is the best cast and you should never play anything else. Anyway, so let's check this. Damn. No cast damage stuff. How sad. This is Chamber 34. I'm just going to grab this Palm. I'd like to get another Palm into my cast. That would be great.
Good enough to eat.
A Palm and a Snowburst is fine. Okay, I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did to heroes on Beowulf. I'm going to immediately meg them by pressing up on my D-pad and hitting the meg. I'm going to charge toward Theseus. Jerky doesn't add that much damage with how much percent damage I have. I'm going to charge toward Theseus, and I'm going to start hitting Theseus and hoping that Asterius comes toward us. I already have a lot of... The thing is, I already have a lot of attack damage. So, it doesn't really add too much for me to have that extra attack damage. I could have bought it, but, like, doesn't really do anything. Fast. Right? That was even with Asterius going off the rails and not getting close to Theseus for a while. Alright. Oh! Braid of Atlas. Yes. Nail of Talos. Yes, these are good items. These are items that we want. From here, so I could keep the Hourglass to try and take it through Styx, but I have an open call slot. So I'm going to take the call that almost no casual players know about, because you have to unlock it near the end of the game. Like, you get it really late in the game, and when you do, it's not actually described very well, so you generally can't even tell how strong it is. Sigil of the Dead, baby! Hades Call is stupid strong. So, your call briefly turns you invisible. Stealth damage bonus plus 100%. Max gauge bonus turn unseen instead. Basically, what Hades Call does is it makes you invisible for a little bit, and then gives you a plus 100% global damage bonus for 2.5 seconds. Real good. It's very solid. The big weakness of it is you can only use it twice. But it has only 2 charges, and each charge is 50% of the bar. But it is so good. It's so good for each of those charges. Father, son! Alright, so let's go for Poseidon here. Sure. And you'll see how quickly this clears Styx. Right? Like, this build is going to just massacre Styx, right?
Not yet. It's no use.
Again? 2 runs in a row? Thank God this didn't happen yesterday in my my fresh file to credits world record. That would have been terrible. But here, all right, so let's just show you the power of Dad Call. That's the power of Dad Call. That was 33% of the Tiny Vermin's health in one shot. Okay? 33% of the Tiny Vermin's health instantly gone from one salvo through Dad Call. All right? That's how powerful it is. Are you to actually teach how to play? You should play for slower than this. I actually asked at the very beginning for people to tell me to slow down when if I'm ever going too fast. So, like, you get world record yesterday? I did. So if I'm going too fast for you, please tell me to slow down. This is a problem that I have, is I go too fast. So I need people to let me know when I'm going too fast. You need to tell me. Right? So I'm trying to slow down, but like it is a flaw of mine is sometimes I don't realize what I need to explain, right? So if I ever am like missing something, if you ever don't understand how something worked, please let me know. There's some things also that I can't slow down because if I do, I won't actually get into position in time, right? Like in that fight, if I had not dashed directly to the location and shot the two enemies, they would have ungrouped and I would not have been capable of playing the weapon properly, right? In that room, what I did is I dashed forward toward the enemy right as the two enemies were right next to each other and then exploded them both simultaneously. And that's not possible to do unless I enter the room, see where the enemies are moving, and immediately dash and do it. I just smacked my hand on the table. Ouch. All right. Does Mirage work with Hera Bow? It does, and I actually currently have it. What do I get out of this? I'll buy the Night Spindle, just in case we get another mini-boss. Only 30% boost on this weapon, right? Yes. Right there. Dashed right into the group. I knew I had enough AoE to kill all of them in one salvo. Right? Oh, no. Tony not worth a Meg use? No, because it's hard to hit Tony with Meg. If I had a spare one, I would try it, but it's better to save it for Dad. Yep, another one of those rooms where I just saw the bother was moving toward the two enemies, so I was like, ah, perfect. They're right there. Let's explode them. Thanks, it sounds absolutely amazing. I haven't actually used Hera. It looks really fun. I will say it's not as easy as I make it look. I play this weapon very smoothly. It's not, this is a good build, and I'm playing very smooth. It's not going to look like this for a little while. It's going to take a little while to get used to. But it is definitely very fun once you get the hang of it. Like, it's one of my favorite weapons. Okay, so I'm going to grab this. I have 1,227 gold, 1,500 hours, etc., etc. I actually checked. I have actually hit 1,500 hours today. Looks like cast load automatically. Yeah, I'm just pressing. I'm pressing the casts and loading them. What's your world record fresh file to credits time? Are you ready? 3 hours, 53 minutes, and 34 seconds. It's very fast. Okay, I'm gonna grab this palm here. The big palm's nice. Yeah, there we go. Now we have level 6 crush shot. That's good. And then nothing else really matters here. So I'm just gonna go to the boss. You two can play like Duncan Zero. Just put 2 solid months into it. 2 solid months? This took me a year, Rodolphus. Oh, 2 solid months in hours. Ah, gotcha. Like 2 constant months. Alright. We do Chiron Bow. Sadly, Chiron is not on the list for today because, unfortunately, Chiron is not one of the, like, better... It's one of the worst aspects in the game from, a high-level perspective. So, what was the previous world record? 4 hours and 18 minutes. The unofficial world record was 4 hours and 6 minutes by me, but 4 hours and 18 minutes was the official world record. So. So... Chiron Bow is not exactly one of the better aspects in the game, and I have a couple of I do have a couple of aspects that are on the list. Rama Bow and Achilles Spear are the 2 that I'm going to try and go through, and then maybe if we have some time after that, I can go through Chiron Bow. Chiron Bow does have some serious problems, though. Here we go. Let's Meg this sucker. Boop. Ah, damn it. I was so close to actually getting him to phase instantly. Alright, so... Oh, dang it. Here we go. He's gonna Darkness. Chiron's fun, but it ain't speedy. Yeah. Ah, damn it. That was a very bad pattern. Ugh. This is very annoying. Bad spawns here. fine for winning, but just not doing it fast. Yeah. That's exactly it. I'm just going to take a DD here. It's fine. Then now we're in the corner, and... got him. When to use call? Whenever you're about to unleash a salvo of damage. So for Hades call, you use it right before you want to let loose all of your casts. When you have it active and you're like, I want to hit my opponent really hard right now, that's when you hit call. Because you only have 2.5 seconds to use it after you use it, right? To use the damage boost after you use the call. Builds for Chiron are nutty. They are, yes. Okay, cool. So, there we go. That's a Hera run. That's actually a very solid Hera run. All right, let's see.
Come, fishies.
I got that bass.